6:31 p.m. Claude responded, "Chronic stress is not just uncomfortable. Chronic stress is not just uncomfortable. It is physically destroying your organs one by one. And most people have no idea how deep that damage goes." Today I want to show you exactly what sustained stress does to your body, why it happens, and then give you one of the simplest and most effective natural remedies available to bring it under control. Just 1 cup of something daily that works directly on the neurological mechanism driving your stress response. I'm Dr. Berg, turning keto and health science into simple habits that transform lives. Let's get into it. First, an important distinction. Some stress is not just acceptable, it is necessary. Exercise is stress. Challenge is stress. Without any stress, the body atrophies. The problem is not stress itself. It is sustained, unrelenting stress. That is what burns out your organs. And here's how it does it. When you perceive a threat or pressure, your brain activates a cascade through the hypothalamus, pituitary gland, and adrenal glands, known as the HPA axis. The output of that cascade is cortisol. Cortisol is not inherently harmful. It is your body's primary adaptation hormone, designed to help you respond to short-term challenges. The damage comes when it never shuts off. Your immune system is one of the first casualties. High cortisol directly suppresses immune function, which is why people so reliably get sick during or immediately after periods of intense stress. Sustained elevated cortisol actually causes physical atrophy of the lymph nodes, the spleen, and the thymus, the core structures of your immune system. The tissue physically shrinks. Your digestive system shuts down under stress. Digestion is governed by the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest system, which is the direct opposite of the stress response. Trying to digest food while under significant stress simply does not work well. Sustained cortisol elevation leads to increased stomach acid, gastritis, ulcers, and acid reflux. The entire digestive process becomes compromised. Here's something that surprises most people about stress. Most people assume that stress makes the body more acidic. It actually does the opposite. Sustained stress causes you to lose hydrogen ions, which are the foundation of acidity in the body. The result is that your body becomes excessively alkaline, and the symptoms of that alkalosis are muscle twitching, cramping, hyperventilation, and anxiety. The very symptoms most people associate with stress are actually signs of stress-induced alkalosis. Stress also depletes you of vitamin B1, calcium, and potassium, all of which are needed for nerve function, muscle relaxation, and metabolic stability. So not only is the stress itself damaging, it is simultaneously stripping away the nutrients you need to recover from it. Your heart takes a significant hit from sustained cortisol. Blood pressure rises, heart rate increases, the coronary arteries constrict. Over time, this contributes to hypertension and cardiovascular disease. Blood sugar dysregulation is another major consequence. Cortisol is a glucocorticoid. Its name literally contains the word glucose. Under stress, your body converts fat, protein, and even ketones into sugar to fuel the perceived emergency. This is why chronic stress alone, without any dietary sugar, can elevate blood sugar enough to contribute to type 2 diabetes. And all that excess sugar being generated gets processed through the liver, which becomes fatty, which then spills excess fat into the abdominal cavity. Chronic stress directly creates belly fat through this mechanism. Your muscles become chronically tense and rigid under sustained cortisol, leading to spasms, pain, and stiffness that does not respond to stretching or massage because the underlying hormonal driver has never been addressed. Your lungs are also affected in a counterintuitive way. Under stress, you hyperventilate, breathing faster and taking in more oxygen. But too much oxygen combined with too little carbon dioxide actually locks up the tissue's ability to absorb and use that oxygen. You end up, paradoxically, oxygen-starved while hyperventilating. This is the mechanism behind panic attacks, anxiety-related shortness of breath, and some cases of asthma. Breathing slowly through the nose, deliberately slowing the breath down, actually delivers more usable oxygen to your tissues than rapid, anxious breathing does. And your brain. Sustained stress physically damages certain brain structures. It disrupts sleep and circadian rhythms, and it depletes a critical neurotransmitter called GABA. GABA is your brain's primary inhibitory neurotransmitter. The brake system. 50% of all synaptic connections in the brain involve either glutamate or GABA receptors. GABA is the off switch that controls the HPA stress cascade. When GABA is active, it inhibits the hormonal signals flowing from the hypothalamus and pituitary down to the adrenal glands, turning off the cortisol spigot. People who burn out from chronic stress are not burning out their adrenal glands the way most people assume. They are burning out GABA. The brake system wears out and the stress response runs unchecked. This is exactly where the remedy comes in. Lemon balm tea. Lemon balm, a plant in the mint family, contains specific phytonutrients that inhibit the enzyme responsible for breaking down GABA. By slowing GABA degradation, lemon balm effectively raises GABA levels in the brain. More GABA means a stronger brake on the stress response. Cortisol drops. The HPA cascade quiets down, and you feel it. The effects are not subtle or slow acting. Most people feel a noticeable shift in tranquility, and that word is worth sitting with for a moment. Tranquility. Peaceful, serene, unshaken, unworried. That is the quality of state that adequate GABA produces, and that is what lemon balm supports. In one study, lemon balm produced full remission of anxiety in 70% of participants. In the same study, 85% of participants with insomnia showed significant sleep improvement. These are not trivial numbers for something that costs almost nothing and has no meaningful side effects. The practical application is simple. 1 cup of lemon balm tea in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, 1 in the early evening if needed. You can find it dried at most health food stores or online. Steep it for 5 to 10 minutes and drink it warm. The effects build with consistent daily use, though many people notice something within the first cup. Beyond stress and anxiety, lemon balm has documented benefits for mood elevation, anti-depression effects, and a range of other health applications that go well beyond what we covered today. If you are dealing with stress, this is one of the simplest, most effective, and most underappreciated tools available to you. 1 cup daily, and let the GABA do its work. If you want to go even further with stress reduction, I put together a video on acupressure techniques specifically for stress that I think you will find very useful. It is right here. Watch it next.